Hello and good morning to anyone watching this video. I want to get something straight to anyone that has been deceived by the devil in regards to what foods we can and can't eat. There is no requirement in the foods and the beverages that we choose to consume. As a matter of fact, biblical manuscripts evidently prove that those that eat fruit and vegetables only are considered weak in the faith in comparison to those that eat meat. Or better yet, those that have a mixed diet of fruit and vegetables along with meat. Me personally, I'm going on a strict meat diet as from following Monday. Why? Because I'm a lion and I'm able to think and live for myself. Unlike the children of today's society, and from Saturday I'll have a 12-inch pizza, 2 burgers, along with fries, sweet potato fries, plain potato fries, an apple and blackberry tart / pie with vanilla custard. And that'll see me through pretty much. The point I'm trying to make here, without waffling on here, is that the Bible clearly says there is no sin in the foods that we choose to eat. And this is what people don't understand. If people read the Bible and applied the Bible to their life, rather than leaned upon their own understanding of this world, by following the voice of this world, you would be able to live as well as think for yourselves without having to worry about any fears, stresses and all of this nonsense. That's what the devil does, you know. The devil is that pathetic. He will actually condemn someone for eating meat. Or better yet, he would condemn someone for eating fruit and vegetables. He will pretty much condemn anyone for anything and everything, technically speaking, even if it is within correspondence to the biblical word. So people, quit paying attention to the devil's voice and know within your heart and your mind you have free will to choose. If you want to eat meat, go ahead and eat meat. If you want to eat fruit and vegetables, go and eat fruit and vegetables. If you want a combo diet of fruit and vegetables and meat, then have that. You have free will to make your own choices and your own decisions in life. Quit paying attention to what anybody else says in regards to your life and the lifestyle choices that you make in the beverages and the foods that you choose to consume. And this, goes to life on a whole. If you want to live life, a drama-free life, with no bullshit, well, at least minimal bullshit, for that matter, you would actually hearken on to this voice take up your free wills in order to make your own choices and your own decisions. And don't allow the devil to condemn you for making any said choices or said decisions even. Because that's what the devil does. It doesn't matter at the end of the day whether you eat meat, whether you eat fruit, vegetables, or whether you eat just seeds alone, or better yet, bread alone for that matter. While it may not be, highly nutritional, for one, it's not a crime. And this is what people fail to realise. When it comes down to choices and decisions that are, technically speaking, unbiblical, that displays degenerative behaviours, then there are, technically speaking, punishments and consequences to that. But if the choice and the decision that you choose to make, people, is within correspondence to the Bible, you are absolutely fine. You won't be condemned. Especially if it's a part of God's will, and it's not outside of His will even, or outside of the law. In other words, if you're within the New Testament and the Old Testament, you've got nothing to worry about nor fear. If you're living outside, however, of the New Testament and the Old Testament, then that's when it will become problematic for people. Because it's outside of God's control. Therefore, you will lose every time. Regardless to the temporary hits of joy and happiness that you get from doing the things that you do. It's short-lived and it's temporary. And let this be a life lesson in order to coach those of you that are unable to think and live for yourself. And know that you do have free will, but it all comes down to perception and how you choose to use your free will. If you choose to abuse your free will in order to live outside of the Old Testament and the New Testament by acting like a degenerate, then you will reap punishments and consequences spiritually and psychologically. Now, if you choose to use your free will in order to live biblically within the New Testament and the Old Testament without having to deny the free will of us, then you will reap blessings and rewards later on. Life is about blessing and rewards, or it could either be punishments and consequences. Now, it's entirely up to both man and woman what they choose to do with their free will. But there is a price. There's either a good price, like I said, that offers blessings and rewards, and there's a bad price, which offers punishments and consequences via condemnation of the devil. Even us realists that abide by the gospel, live by the gospel, meditate however many times we get, pray along our travels, we too get attacked, spiritually and psychologically, even when we're doing everything right. But those that live an easy life, a life of wanting excessive happiness, excessive joy, and all of this nonsense, you know, by doing the devil's work. It's temporary. It's short-lived. When you, or should I say, when you come to the realization to the smoke and mirrors and the bullshit around you, and all of the pain, suffering, along with bullshit that you brought into other people's lives, then you're going to reap that back through your so-called connections in people. The reason why a lot of the time I'm neutral and I come across as expressionless, distant on a whole, is because people are bullshit. Even those that crack you the biggest smile upon the face of the earth are not always your friend. I've learnt this the hard, valuable way from my past life, when people were, you know, joyful and happy to see me. It was a front. It was an act. You could tell the difference between a narcissistic kind of smile of joy in comparison to a real smile of joy. There's a very, very big difference between the two. And this is why, like I said, I may come across as cold to a lot of people. It is what it is, right? In other words, if you so happen to bring, say, I don't know, joy out of me, you know, or happiness for that matter, then you're clearly doing something right. But when it's excessive, no. I can't be dealing with that. Because, like I said, those that live within excessive happiness and excessive joy and all of this, you know, they've not even put in a hard day's labour and wouldn't know what a hard day actually is if it jumped up in their face and slapped them across the nose. It's the truth. If you want to live a life of growth, evolvement, along with maturity, you've got to take on that pain and suffering, man, regardless to where you're at in life. And that's what I plan on doing with mine. Because where there's pain and there's suffering, there's also not only growth, evolvement, and maturity to be, you know, discovered, that is, yet there's also blessing and reward for bearing it. And what people don't like about bearing the pain and suffering that they inflict is they see it as, oh, it's the end of the world, man. No, it's not. Think of it this way, yeah? You're being put into the fire, you're being taken out of the fire. You're being put into the fire, you're being taken out of the fire. It's all good, having the full body armour of God, but if your sword of the Spirit is blunt, then you are technically speaking setting yourself up for spiritual and psychological death. I don't care who you are at the end of the day watching this video. And what this, you know, pain and suffering does upon people is that it refines us into becoming the men and the women that the gospel created us to be. But yet people nowadays would rather cry and get all touchy and feely when they so happen to take on that pain and suffering that they inflict upon others. But like I said, pain, along with suffering, is a part of the refinement process. It is actually, in fact, contributing to our growth, evolvement, and maturity. And there you have it. So, I don't want to see people cry or get touchy and feely, through the pain and suffering they inflict upon themselves due to what they put us through on a whole. You're going to take it, you're going to bear it, and you're going to allow it to refine each and every one of you into the creations you were originally created to be, via the biblical manuscript. If I can take it, and if a select few others out there can take it, what's your excuse to those of you that can't? Real talk. And there we have it. Don't fight the pain and the suffering process. Don't even perceive it as your enemy. Rather work with it and allow it to refine your heart, your mind, thus ultimately breathing life into the very soul of man and woman. In other words, you're going to be thankful that you endured the pain and suffering that you did, because you're also receiving a clearer conscience, by allowing things to happen, whether they be good or bad, And, this is what people don't understand. Thankfully, I've, picked up on this now, so that I can help others overcome their battles and that. And there we have it. Stay tuned for more videos, drink plenty, be safe, but most of all and most importantly, allow everything to happen. Even the bad stuff, allow it to happen. And the good stuff, the greater good stuff, allow it to happen. Because sooner or later, you'll be where you need to be, in here and in here. And you'll have everything that you need, witnessed and approved via the Holy Spirit.